Hi, my name is Kim Manzella, and I'm a mindset coach and I'm a life docent. And today I want to talk about what to do when you and your partner don't agree. And this happens all the time, especially if you've been in a relationship for a while and the two of you have been going through life together and you come up against a joint venture where both of you have to make a decision on something, which happens all the time in relationships. So you have to decide how you're going to spend your time, how you're going to spend your money, how you're going to put your effort. And your partner wants one thing and you want something completely different. And this happens all the time in relationships. And one of the things I always joke around about is relationships are the things that are here to make us better versions of ourselves. They stretch us, they make us grow. I know when I had children, it was the one thing I was like, wow, I would have never have stretched this far and learned so much about myself if I hadn't had these kinds of relationships. And there are always relationships that force us to become more kind, more compassionate, more thoughtful, more loving, because that's what relationships do. And sometimes what that looks like is disagreement, right? That's the thing. We learn sometimes in our most challenging situations how to be kinder, how to be more loving, and how to be more compassionate. So what do you do when you want something really, really, really much, and your partner wants a different thing, right? And this is actually something that I went through last year, and I created an entire course because it made our relationship, if you get through it and you get to the other side, it can make your relationship so much more intimate, so much more loving. But you have to do the work. And the first piece of information I want to remind you is to remember that you love this person, right? That you love them and their happiness and joy is yours just as much as your happiness and joy is theirs. So these two things are very important to remember because they're not someone you're battling. They're someone that you're co-creating with. So if you can remember, we're co-creating. And the second thing to remember is it's not about sacrifice. You want to assume that there is an answer that you haven't come across. There is a solution that you haven't thought of that can actually bring you two together, right? That can actually mend those two pieces that feel like they're such polar opposites. Those pieces, maybe there's a piece of glue that you haven't considered. One of the things that I really have learned by a long spiritual practice is sometimes my mind is limited. There's choices. I'm used to seeing choice one or choice B, choice one or choice two, choice A or choice B. And there might be seven other choices in between that I haven't considered, that meditation and relaxation and some of my tools that I use and I teach can help me access. But when you're in the middle of a fear or an argument, you're on a plane that's really low. You're not going to have access to those really, really high thinking thoughts, high like vibrational thoughts if you're feeling angry, right? So you want to step back and say, oh, wait, I know that there's an answer out there and the universe has it for me and it's going to supply it to me as soon as I can relax and allow myself to move up vibrationally, to move up into a better feeling place so that I can access that feeling. So another thing is working on really being a flexible person. For me, I'm very flexible. I'm a Gemini. I tend to see it 17 different ways, but most of my partners might not be as flexible. And we talk about flexibility. If you're flexible in your body, you tend to be flexible as a person. This is something I've figured out. It's my own personal idea that I figured out from years and years of doing energy work. How flexible are you? Am I willing to see it a different way? Is it my way or the highway? That really can be a relationship killer. You can say to yourself, am I being flexible here? Or is it my way or the highway? And is that really the best, most loving outcome that I can create? And finally, one of the tools that you can use is if you have time, sometimes you got to make a decision on the spot. And those are the hardest decisions to make because you want what you want. Your partner wants what they want. How do you come to a conclusion? So what I always say is thank you, universe. If you believe in God, say thank you, God. If you believe it, whatever you believe in, put it in there. I say thank you, universe. Thank you, superconscious mind. Thank you, God, for allowing me to expand my mind to be able to create the best outcome here. Help me to create the most loving, most kind, most generous, most compassionate outcome, but not one where I feel like I have to sacrifice. And I always say, we're not supposed to go into a relationship for sacrifice. Sacrifice is not the point of relationship. A compromise is always one where you feel good and your partner feels good. You want to come to a compromise. That doesn't necessarily mean you're going to get your outcome, but you may. There's so many times where my partner and I were doing things, and one of the things I realized is his decisions were kind of better than mine sometimes, and I had to be flexible enough to see it. And if he's listening, okay, you heard it. So, but if you could say, thank you, universe, for the best possible outcome here. I know that I feel really, really confident that my choice is the best, but I want to be open to that. Maybe there's a solution that I haven't considered. And then finally, if you can take a night and go say, when I sleep, just help me to be able to wake up and see it from the highest perspective. That's another great thing that you can do. So I know that there's times where we all get together with our partners and it's just really hard because we want what we want, and that's okay. You can want what you want, but remember that there might be even a better solution, and they are out there when you move yourself up vibrationally and you get to those great places. So I hope you like what I had to say. Remember that life is super short. So truly, if you need some help, there's a million different ways to get in touch with me in my description bar. Also, remember that you can join my group, Supercharge Your Mindset. It's free, and I give you tons of information in there on things that you could do to really make your relationships great. And finally, if you're going through life and you want to know how to feel better today, remember to be kind to the people in your life. I had someone very kind to me buy me lunch today. I was very blessed. Thank you if you're listening. And have fun in life. It's short, so have fun. And finally, love everything. Thanks for listening.